Hey guys, Steve Collins here, coming to you from San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker
Indie World.
in the world. I was sitting here talking with my phenomenally gorgeous and wonderful bride this morning, and I want to share something with you. You have significantly more discipline than you think you do. You possess life-changing discipline. You have the discipline to literally live your biggest life, to be at the weight you want to be at the financial status that you would like to be at, to be at the social growth that you would like to be at, to be at the relational growth you would like to be at. You actually have all the discipline you need to achieve all the goals that are in your heart. The challenge, the problem is that for most people, it's not self-discipline, it's external discipline. What's the difference, you might ask? I'm really glad that you did. Here's the difference. All of you who are working a job, who actually have a job, hey Don, I'm not driving, I can see you there. Good to see you, brother. All of you who have a job, a J-O-B, okay, or even those of you who are newly self-employed or have been in the business for yourself for a long time, here's how I can prove to you, you have the power of discipline. It's just not self-discipline, it's external discipline. Let me reveal to you how I know you have the power. Because if you have a job on Monday, tomorrow, you will have discovered the magic of getting up an hour earlier than you normally would. You know, when people find out that, we do workouts at 5 a.m., they're like, that's crazy. I could never do. That's crazy. I could never do. That's crazy. I could never do. You do it every year. You do it every year this time of the year. When you spring forward, you do it every year. You just realize that discipline has come because of external pressure rather than the self-discipline of internal pressure. But here's what I'm here to encourage you to understand. It's the same damn thing. It's just one comes from you versus coming from the outside. So in coaching, we recognize that when we first come in contact with most people will push through discomfort only if it's an external thing pushing on them. That's external discipline. Shifting to self-discipline, where you're putting pressure on yourself to perform, you still have the power. You just must flip the switch in your head. There's a switch that you flip in your head, and you don't even have access to that switch until, y'all ready for this? You have total clarity on exactly what is important to you, why that's important to you, and then you gain clarity on exactly what must be done to accomplish that. Then it goes into your schedule, and there's a commitment daily to exactly when that's going to be done, and it will likely not happen. 98% of the time, it still won't happen without accountability. Accountability is the magic. Accountability is the key. Well, Steve, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, I mean, I have to get up because I have to go to my job. That's why I got up an hour earlier. Well, that's because you had accountability. You have a boss who will say, you want an extra hour of sleep? Okay, that's cool. You're fired. Get out of here. We'll replace you with somebody who can show up on time. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's accountability, by the way. It's sucky accountability because it's fear-based, and yet it's accountability. If I don't show up at work if I tell, hey boss, here's the thing. I've been wanting to wake up an hour earlier for a long time so I can go work out at the gym in the morning. I just can't do it. I can't do it. And so, I know your clock over there says 8 o'clock, but my body still knows it's 7, so I'm just going to keep coming in at the time I used to. Your boss would say, cool, you're fired. You're out of here. Accountability. The accountability because of that relationship with a boss, if you will. This is the challenge of self-employment for most people, is that you get to be your own boss. And you must be the one to impose those disciplines on yourself. You must be the one to say, okay, like I did years ago, if I would like to be in great shape and I would like to have time in the morning to spend time alone with God, time alone with my wife, time with my kids, have breakfast with them, journal, read, write, and take the kids to school, I'm going to need an extra couple hours to do that. So the only way that can be done is if I'm up at 4:20 in the morning, at the gym at 5, home by 6. I was a night owl. That wasn't going to happen. But when I got crystal clear on why those things were critically important to me, I knew I needed accountability. So I had a friend of mine, a buddy, John Talley, and I said, hey, bud, here's how it's going to work. We're going to meet at the gym at 5 a.m. at Rogers Ranch. This was 15 years ago. And I said, here's how it's going to work, my friend. It's going to work this way. If one of the two of us stands each other up, that night, we're going to go to Bonahan Steakhouse. And I'm just going to look at the numbers, not at the steaks. When I see a triple-digit number, like a $200, 90-day aged, prime ribeye that it's $350, I'm going to say, I want that. And when the waiter comes and says, would you like the asparagus, the lobster mac and cheese, the Brussels sprouts, or the au gratin potatoes? I'm going to say, yes, I will take them all. And I will order them all. And then I don't want a glass of Caymus. I want a bottle of Caymus that's been in the back with dust on it for the last 6 years. In other words, bro, it's going to be a $3,000 bromance date. We're going to spend 3 G's, meaning you don't show up, you're paying the bill. I don't show up, I'm paying the bill. And ladies and gentlemen, for years, we never missed a day. Accountability. The pain of me taking a dude on a $3,000 dinner was greater than the pain of when that alarm clock went off. See, I wanted the goal. I had the goal. I knew it was there. But without accountability, it typically doesn't happen. So you know what? I'm here to encourage you. If you have a job, you know what? You're magically going to have the power to get up an hour early. Well, I can't get up an hour early. Well, you do it every year, and you're going to do it again this year. So you actually do have the power. It's just that you're walking in external discipline rather than self-discipline. And self-discipline comes once you get clarity on what it is that's most important to you. Then you discover exactly what you must do to walk that path to move the ball down the field. Then you put it in your schedule. You have exactly when you're going to commit to that. And ideally, hopefully, you have a coach. Someone you don't pay. Nobody pays me as a coach. Does anybody pay you as a coach, Angela? Nobody pays you. What do? They invest. They invest in themselves. I invest in me.
Totally caught me off
Angela,
guard.
I know I caught her off guard. I love when I do that.
I do have
She's
something to share though. While
Please,
I'm sharing
Angela.
about accountability. The beautiful thing is sometimes in the beginning we need that external accountability. However, the more the clearer you get with your goals and your vision, the clearer. I write down stuff sometimes if I'm in the process of creating something. I'll start with, okay, this is what it looks like. As you start moving towards that goal, you get clearer and you add to it. For me, it's vision boards and journaling. So I'll just continue adding to that. And the more I add to that, the clearer I get it, the more I begin to hold my own self accountable because I'm owning that goal. I'm owning that dream. I can see myself living that goal. And that's where I love where the accountability can sometimes start with, okay, we're going to have to pay each other. Hi, Don. Where the accountability there is like, okay, because Don used to be there at 5 a.m. to do workouts when we were doing workouts out at KW Heritage. So that's one example. Sometimes that accountability starts with, you need people around you and you need your coaches and you need that support. And then it's such a beautiful place when you begin to shift into, you wake up in the morning and you are fired up because you are so crystal clear on that goal and that vision. And so that becomes kind of from the shift of that external to the internal and owning it and seeing it, believing it, and just executing and doing it.
Absolutely. So what's the difference? The difference is someone who says, well, I just would like to lose weight. Well, that's not an exactly. Someone might say, this is what an exactly sounds like. I am approximately 13 pounds heavier than I would like to be. Therefore, I must lose 13 pounds to be at my optimal weight. When I'm at my optimal weight, my clothes are going to fit perfect. I'm going to feel great about myself. My confidence is going to go up. My visual self-discipline is going to be evident for all to see. I'm going to respect myself more. I'm going to be more conscious of what I eat. I'm going to have more energy to spend time with my family. I'm going to have more time and energy available to me to spend serving when I'm at work. I'm going to be much more crystal clear on what I'm thinking about. I'm not going to be distracted by a jelly roll down here. I am going to be on point, and I know exactly how I need to do that. And now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to invest in me. I'm not going to pay a personal trainer. I'm going to invest in me. I'm going to get accountability, and I'm going to personal trainer guy, personal trainer girl, but I don't have the money. Well, you do have the money. If it was an emergency, you'd figure it out. If you needed $10,000 to have a surgery this weekend or you were going to die, let me tell you something. You'd figure it out. Well, I just don't have the money. I'm going to die. No, you wouldn't. You'd figure that shit out. You'd figure it out. And so when something's important enough to you, you figure it out. When it's not, you make excuses and stories. So when you decide, okay, well, if I have to put it on a credit card, well, Steve, are you suggesting I get into debt because I'm a Dave Ramsey fan? We're Dave Ramsey fans. Yes, if hitting your target weight would make you a phenomenal human being, freaking get into debt and pay your debt off, because you're working on you, your body. You have one body. You ain't got no other place to live except your body. Anything you do to invest in your health, because get this, either way you're going to pay. You're going to pay now in preventative maintenance, or you're going to pay later in medication and taking care of fixing the crap that you didn't. But either way, you're going to pay. You pay now in vitamins and minerals and gym membership and eating healthy. You pay now, or you pay down the road with 18 medications, trying to figure that stuff out and trying to keep your body held together from falling apart when you're older. But either way, you're going to pay. So when you get crystal clear on this is exactly what I want to do, and then I bring accountability into my life, then you have a fighting chance of reaching these things together. So the whole point was, okay, well, there we go. See, we're not quitters. We didn't give up when it said it was going to shut down. So we're still here. Here's the point. You have the ability to change your life. If you have a job, I'll tell you how. Because Monday, you're not going to come in an hour later and say, well, I just aren't respected. I'm not going to respect that. I'm going to respect my body. I slept what my body knew was a real time. I'm not acknowledging time. You're not going to do that. You're going to show up on time and you're going to be tired for about a week. That's it. Does that make sense? Angela, why don't you take us home?
Think big, write your goals down, and go for your goals.
You got it. You have the discipline.
Yeah, unlimited possibilities. Unlimited
Yep.
possibilities.
Just move from having external discipline to self-discipline, and you can live the life you want to live. Isn't that right?
Have a beautiful Sunday.
Love y'all. Peace.